Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another fish video. Today I'm going to be showing you the best and most efficient way to get the Rod of the Depths, which will probably be the last rod that you get before you craft one of the more endgame rods like the no life rod. Now before I get into this video, thank you all so much for getting me to 25,000 subscribers. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Since we did reach 25,000 subscribers, I will be hosting a massive 50 huge pet giveaway in my next Pet Sim 99 video for those who are interested. So today I'm going to be going over how you can get yourself the Rod of the Depths. Now this rod is probably the easiest endgame rod to get, however it is still incredibly OP. As you can see, when you have it equipped, you get a ghost of yourself that appears to the side, and every third fish that you catch, your ghost also catches a fish for you, which allows you to make a lot more money and XP every hour. Now to get this rod, you're going to need a few things. The first thing you're going to need is enough credits to actually buy the rod. The rod itself costs 750,000 credits, and if you're planning on using the appraiser to get the enchant relic mutations that you need later on in this video, then you will probably need a couple 100,000 more credits. So I would probably aim to have around 750,000 credits to 1.1 million. Now to get this many credits, it may be a bit difficult, especially if you're manually fishing. I personally would recommend to use a macro to automatically fish for you. If you don't know how to download or use a macro, I do have a video on it, which will be linked in the description, or you can click the pop-up on screen to go to it. Now, at this point in the game, if you're trying to get the Rod of the Depths, you likely already have some mid-game rods, but I would suggest if you're trying to AFK for credits, to use the Trident rod. This rod is, in my opinion, the best mid-game rod, and its passive makes it a lot easier and faster to catch fish, allowing you to make a ton more credits. Now, using this rod, or maybe even another mid-game rod like the King's Rod, I would strongly recommend farming in either the depths or the ancient isles. This leads into the second thing that you need to get the Rod of the Depths, which is actually access to the depths. Now, accessing the depths can be a bit tedious, but I'm going to walk you through how you can do it as fast as possible. So in order to enter the depths, you have to enter the vertigo. The vertigo can be entered by finding a whirlpool in the ocean, but make sure it's one that has light coming out through it. This is the only one that will actually take you to the vertigo. But once you found one of these, you just want to hop in the center and then it'll teleport you down into the vertigo. Now, in order to actually enter the depths, you have to complete the bestiary for the vertigo. This is probably the most difficult part of this whole video. However, if you stand here on this middle rock and just fish for maybe 1 or 2 hours, you should be able to complete it. I cannot stress this enough. Using a macro will make your life so much easier. Now, completing the vertigo bestiary can be a little tedious. However, if you do have a friend that has already completed it and has some of these fish, I would definitely recommend having them give you that fish, as it doesn't matter if you actually fished up these fish. As long as you get it in your inventory, it'll be added to your bestiary. However, if you don't have access to a friend who can give you these fish, I'm going to quickly go over how you can get every single one of these fish as easy as possible. So for the spiderfish and the twilight eel, as long as you fish in this area for around 10 to 20 minutes, you will definitely be able to catch at least one of each of those. Now the night shrimp cannot be caught with a fishing rod. Instead, you have to use crab cages. Crab cages can be bought from several different places in this map, one of them being on Forsaken Shores near the merchant, and another one being in the Desolate Deep. Once you get yourself a few crab cages, they're honestly not that expensive. Just go around this little rock and place a few in the water. And then once it has caught something, there will be a little visual cue and then you can claim a fish from it. And as you can see, eventually your crab cages will be ready and you should get a night shrimp pretty fast. The fangborn gar can be a little tough to get, but if you use fish bait during foggy weather, you will have the best chance of catching it. The Abyssal, you'll have the best chance of catching it if you use the minnow bait during spring or summer. And for the voidfin, you'll have a best chance of catching it if you use a truffle worm during clear or windy weather during the spring. Now for the rubber ducky, you'll have the best chance of catching it if you fish during the rain. And then these last two, the isonade and the depths key, are probably the most difficult fish to get. Now the isonade, you have the best chance of catching it with a truffle worm, and this is actually caught from fishing inside a strange whirlpool. So just like the worm pool that you hopped into to actually come in here, you're going to want to find one of those worm pools and just fish inside of it until you get the isonade. And then lastly, the depths key, you're just going to keep fishing in this vertigo area until you get it. This one is probably the most difficult fish to get, and if you could, I would definitely recommend having a friend to give it to you. Okay, and now that you've finally completed the vertigo bestiary, whether you actually caught everything yourself or had someone give you some of the fish, you can finally enter the depths. Now to enter the depths, you just want to come up on this hill over here and walk towards this door. Since I have the door open, it looks like this, but for you, the door will be closed. Now, all you want to do is come up to this little ghost person on the side and talk to him. And then with the key out in your hand, open the door. And then once it's finally open, this will be permanently open and will never close again. So you won't have to worry about that. And finally, to enter the depths, all you want to do is walk through this area and complete this little obstacle course. As you're going along, the rocks do like disappear, so you have to go a little fast. Now here, if you don't have enough credits to buy the rod, this is probably one of the best locations to fish for pure credits. So I would definitely recommend just coming along one of these ledges and then just fishing for a little bit until you get enough credits. And now that you have enough credits to get the rod as well as access to the depths, the last thing that you are going to need is 2 enchant relics. However, they have to have specific mutations on them. You're going to need 1 enchant relic that has an abyssal mutation and another enchant relic with a hexed mutation. If you don't feel like fishing up enchant relics, although I would definitely recommend fishing them up instead of buying them, you can buy them from Merlin, who is located on Sunstone Island. So I'm going to show you quickly where he is. I'm heading to Sunstone Island, and once I get there, I'll show you where he is. So once you're here, you're going to want to go in between the little ravine over here and find your way to this ladder. Now, once you reach the top of the ladder, you just want to follow this path all the way up the hill until you see Merlin. Now, you can get the specific abyssal and hexed mutation from fishing. However, it can be a little difficult. So as long as you have 2 enchant relics, you can take the relics over to the appraiser on Moosewood and he will appraise the enchant relic for you. Now, as you appraise, there is a small chance that you will get a mutation on it, and you're just going to be hoping to get the abyssal or the hexed mutation. This can get a little expensive, and if you really want to give yourself the best chance of getting a mutation, I would wait until a mutation event is actually going on. Now, just to see how long and how many credits you can expect to spend to get both mutations, I'm going to sit here and appraise for as long as I can until I get both mutations. I think a little over 100,000 credits or around 100,000 credits, I did get a hexed enchant relic. So now I'm just looking for the abyssal one. So let's keep going. Okay, and I just got the abyssal relic. So now I managed to actually get 2 hexed relics and 1 abyssal. All you need is 1 of each. And then you're ready to go. I spent around 200,000 credits, so expect to spend around 200,000 to maybe even 300,000 or 400,000 if you are getting the mutations by appraising them. Before you do this maze, you want to make sure you at least have basic diving gear, but I would definitely recommend getting the advanced diving gear. The basic diving gear can be found on Moosewood Island right by the shipwright right over here and costs 3,000 credits. Okay, and I would also recommend you buy flippers, which can be found right below the buoy where you get the advanced diving gear inside the cave. The flippers will allow you to swim much faster, allowing you to complete the maze a lot easier. Okay, and now that you have all the gear that you need, it is time to go get the rod. So to find the rod, it is actually located in the depths. So we're going to go to the depths quickly. And once you make it here, you're going to want to find a waterfall. Now you'll see this one in front of the merchant, but this one is not the right waterfall. So go around the middle until you see another waterfall. Okay, here we go. And then once you see this waterfall, you're just going to want to climb up into it and hop onto this little ledge over here and then walk your way over. And at this point, you'll see this little pedestal right here. You just want to make sure you have your hexed enchant relic out and put it into the little pedestal here. The abyssal relic's actually pretty simple. You just want to hop down from the waterfall and walk around the middle until you see this little area. You'll see this little gate over here. And then if you walk up a little more, this is the pedestal for the abyssal relic. So pull out your abyssal relic and then put it into the pedestal. And at this point, this gate will open. Now, if you leave the game, the gate will close again and you will lose both of your enchant relics. So make sure you are doing this when you have time to actually complete the maze. And now that you have the gate open, make sure you have all your gear on. Now, I have done this before with only advanced diving gear. However, the flippers will make it a lot easier. And so this is basically just going to be a little maze underwater. So once you hop in here, you're going to want to swim to the bottom. And then once you're in here, you're just going to want to keep swimming towards the east direction on your compass on the top of the screen. Just keep going as east as possible. And eventually you will come across this little air pocket here. Once you swim up to this air pocket, this is where you can buy the Rod of the Depths. So using your 750,000 credits, come up to the rod, view it, and then buy it. I already have it, so I can't buy it. But then after that, you will have the Rod of the Depths. Now at this point, I would definitely recommend enchanting it. Currently, I have Clever on my rod since it gives me more XP, and that is really the only thing I'm looking for right now. However, definitely enchant to your needs. So if you need more credits, then I would definitely go for something like Abyssal instead. I hope you guys were able to find this video useful, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you all have an amazing day and good luck fishing.